Hey, so today I will be doing log number 3. So, in our past classes and lectures, we've been talking about a lot, but the one thing that really stuck out to me was the conspiracy theory on Shakespeare and whether he wrote his plays and his poems. And I found this so fascinating because, like, obviously we learned about Shakespeare through English class and even history class, like all through high school and even middle school. And it was something that I never knew. I didn't even know that that was a theory. I didn't know anything about that. I always thought like Shakespeare was Shakespeare, William Shakespeare. Like he's one of like the best writers ever. And I always thought he was just the author. I didn't even know a theory existed about him not being one. So like, but when we started talking about it in class, it makes a lot of sense actually, which is really interesting. So basically, there's a theory, and it's called the anti-Stratfordian theory, and it's basically the idea, the idea that William Shakespeare did not actually write his plays and poems that we associate with his name today, and that there was other people involved, or just a completely different person or a group of other people that did it. It's interesting. So when we talked about it, like apparently people have been arguing about this since 1785, which is so long ago. How did I not hear about this in high school? Like what? It's shocking. It's crazy. So there was this man. His name was Wilmot, and he was a literary scholar. And when Shakespeare died, he wrote a biography about Shakespeare, and by doing this, he visited Shakespeare's hometown and every house that he lived in or had been to, and he visited the libraries. And what he found was astonishing. Like, this is just mind blowing. There was no record anywhere to indicate that William Shakespeare ever read or wrote a book. And then we also talked about that he may have not have had an education past elementary school, and the writings in his plays it's really advanced writing. So if he didn't have anything above a primary school education, how would he write them? I don't know. And so Wilmot read there was no evidence of Shakespeare's handwriting scribbled in the margins, and there was no Shakespearean signatures on the bottom of old letters. I don't know if this might be like too far to stretch it, but like, was he real, or was he someone that someone just kind of made up in their heads, in their minds? It's so strange. And then, like, obviously, however, everything Wilmot wrote about Shakespeare could be fake, and a lot of people do think that the whole theory is ridiculous, and that Shakespeare is the author to all of his books, all of his plays and all of his poems. So it's really interesting. And then we discussed that, what was it? Oh yeah, there was a question, and it was like, why did nobody mourn when Shakespeare died? Apparently there was no or very little mourning when he died. So it's really interesting, because if he was that big of a part of history, then and if everything was that popular, then he should have been appreciated when he died, which I'm sure he was, or whoever wrote these plays was. But that's just so fascinating to me, and I just wanted to talk about that during this log, because it's just so mind-blowing that the amazing William Shakespeare, couldn't maybe not have been the author. Like, what? I don't think anyone will understand how mind-blown I am by this. Like, I never knew that theory, and when I read it, I did more research into it, just like my own research, because I was like, what? No way. And it's it all adds up. It makes sense. And that to me is just crazy. Okay, well, thank you so much for listening.